like for 7 seconds and I'm crying already. Like, are you even filming yet?
Yes, I mean, I should double check. Yeah, we're rolling. Yeah, we're rolling.
My vision is always double. Strabismus.
That is scary.
I have that emoji with all the teeth that's like... My vision is terrible, 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 terrible. I wear like a -7 contact with prism to attempt to correct my terrible vision. And it's always been bad, but it's been mostly tolerable. And then about 5 years ago, we started to notice that when I was tired or when I had had too much to drink or like whatever, whenever I wasn't at my best and at most rested, that my eye would just start to turn inwards. And it's gotten worse and worse over time. And then I have gotten more and more anxious about it over time. And then I finally got brave enough to like deal with it. And then I got pregnant. And not only could I not do anything about it, then it got worse. And that was the worst. Your vision often deteriorates during pregnancy, and for me that was the case. It also meant that the relaxin, which is a hormone in your body that allows all of your ligaments and like your hips to open up or whatever, it softens all of your muscles and your ligaments. It also softened the ligament in my eye, which made it worse. And because pregnancy affects your vision so much, none of the doctors that we talked to would even consider seeing me until after like 6 months after I was done breastfeeding. And that's when you're newly pregnant and you feel really insecure. Like, that's a really long time to not be able to do anything about a situation. And also like really scared about what if they can't fix it, or what if they fix it and it gets worse, because of course I did all the research, and one of the things that happens with strabismus surgeries is they can be overcorrected, and the only thing that I could think of that would make this worse is if I did this all and then I went with the crust on the other side. And like, and I know this sounds so vain that I'm sitting here over here crying about being cross-eyed, and yes, there is that, and like it makes me insecure, but it also is so bad for my vision. The fact that I see double vision all the time, that I can't really drive at dusk or at night because my vision doesn't hold up to it, is worrisome. It's awkward when I just miss things all the time, when I like try to grab something that's here and it's actually here, because my double vision is so bad that I don't have an accurate, like I would say I don't even have an accurate perspective of the world around me sometimes, because
yeah, no, I think that's 100% true.
Never had good depth perception because my vision is so overcorrected. But like even the double vision right now, looking at the camera with my right eye, I can see one camera right here, and then with my left eye the second camera is right there. And so I don't even know where to look anytime. And like when I meet new people, oh, that's awkward, because sometimes when I say hi to them and they look past me because they think I'm talking to someone else, that's embarrassing. There's the part of me that knows it will be fine and it will be better and a major improvement on so many levels, but like that's right here, and the overarching is like panic. I know it needs to happen. Like I need to be able to drive at dusk. Like you can't drive me everywhere ever forever. That's not reason. Like I like it. I would love it if you could drive me forever, and or I could only take Ubers, but that's not reasonable. I need to be able to drive our kid places. I need to be able to like play catch with him and not miss the damn ball every time because I can't see it. That sucks. I need. But I'm just so worried that it won't be fixed. Long term, like if we leave the strabismus uncorrected, eventually like this eye will just continue to deteriorate and I could go completely blind. It is kind of nice to try and film a video and not be trying to hide my eyes. It's always so hard. to like, normally I do a thing where I like angle my eyes in between what I see are the two ones, and it sort of makes me look squinty but not as terribly crossed, but it's not reliable because my right eye is so much stronger than my left, so after a while it just like pops back and then it just looks like my eyes are darting.
It also
it also doesn't hide it any,
it doesn't,
like at all.
I mean, like,
it just makes me look like
if you haven't seen some of the videos,
and
like
cross-eyed and
the
anxious about it.
camera don't lie.
It doesn't help the situation. It just makes me feel worse about myself. I guess here we go. I feel like that emoji again.
Good job.
Can I have a tissue?
Yeah, like right now, I can't throw this box of tissues at her. I mean, I can, but I have to like land it on her.
Because it looked like it was coming here and here, and so if he throws them, I go like this.
Oh my! We should do we'll do a slow mo of her trying to catch things to show you how bad her vision is. I think, like, because we gotta have some fun in this video.
Oh my god!
First thing, nice and easy. The Osmo holder. Ready? Not bad. She got her hands on it.
It's better than I expected I would do.
Bibs.
Damn it!
I enjoyed this.
One and a half?
I mean, you caught one on your head for a second. It's gotta count for something. You brought this down. I think she meant for me to throw it in the bag.
Wait, I'm supposed to catch those individually?
Yeah. Ready?
That's not happening.
Hey! How stale are those?
I like smart sweets. These are not the best bags.
Howdy, partner. Hey! Oh! 3, 2 bird! Oh, we were so close. We were so close, y'all.
Stop for lunch. Go sports ball.
Long and short, she can't see, and that's why she's bad at sports.
What he said.
Oh, I cursed on camera again!
What do you feel? I'm so nervous. I guess we have to catch all up. I obviously had my appointment with my doctor. I had several appointments with my doctor, actually. We had a lot of testing to do, and I will tell you all about that. But the long and convoluted, and the only part that matters is that in 3 days, he's going to get up all in my eyeballs and try and make it so that this is not anymore. Honestly, my doctor is really patient because, ooh, did I cry at him a lot? Ooh, boy. I'm seeing Dr. Luke Dietz, and he's super well recommended and renowned here in LA. Like, this is what he does, is he fixes people's strabismus. And he's of the opinion that I'm an ideal candidate for the procedure, and well, he knows what he's talking about, and I don't, so I'm doing my best to believe him. Is how I feel about that. As far as like what all went on, he did a lot of testing. I mentioned the last time we filmed that right now I use prisms in my glasses to help me see, and like those are the crystals we played with when we were a little kid, when like you were looking at rainbows or whatever, like those. Those help adjust the shift in my eyes, and he spent hours. I think my first appointment with him, I was there for 3 hours, and I was there for like 2 the second, measuring different things in different prisms, because fortunately I'm gonna be under general anesthesia for the surgery. He is going to knock me out, and they are going to use eye speculums, which are exactly what you think of. I did not know they existed until my first pre-op appointment. But the same thing like in an OBGYN, they use eye speculums to pop your eyes open. Yeah, gruesome. But then he is going to attach and reattach all the muscles in my eyeball, because apparently this eye, even though this is the one that really turns problematically, this one has started to turn a tiny bit to compensate, to help adjust it, so he's going to anchor that one too. He says that it should be like an hour and a half or 2 hour surgery, and like I don't get heavy pain pills, I don't have to wear a patch, I don't have to avoid
like I'm supposed to be fine the next day with just like bright red itchy eyes, and to be honest, it kind of seems too good to be true when I'm skeptical. But like I'm not skeptical because I don't trust him. I'm skeptical because I'm struggling to. Skeptical is my state of being right now. I thought this was going to be a whole thing, and it's just going to be a morning. And I don't know, it feels like it should be. I don't know, like it doesn't make sense to me logically that.
I'm sorry, my wife is a martyr, and she doesn't understand if she can accomplish something without having to die for it. Is basically what she's trying to tell you.
So I asked him about that. I was like, what happens if you open my eyes up and they lean the other way? And he kind of was like, well, that's not going to happen, but if it was, I'd fix it. Like he was almost a little bit insulted that I would suggest that he wouldn't be able to get it right in the first time, which at first I wanted to be like, ew, don't be snotty. But then I was like, oh yes, be snotty. Be really snotty about how good you are at this. And like, fix it right immediately. It's not away. It's not away. But like, that was kind of my vibe. It's like if there are so many issues with doctors having like questionable bedside manners, and he is lovely. And I felt like really great that the only time he did get a little bit miffy at me was when I insulted him. When I kind of was like, can you do this? Like I kind of called him on his game, and he seemed very confident that he could. I think honestly postpartum I just have too many feelings, like in general, and all of my feelings are colliding onto this, and I'm messy. What if you look different when I only see one of you or something? I realized, like, I've never seen just one of my kid. Like, and I'm so excited too. I kind of feel like I got hit in the face with a sledgehammer. And I can't really open my eyes, but when I do, I only see one of this camera, which is possibly the best possible situation. My eyes really hurt. It hurts to kind of open them right now, and the light hurts. But I'm feeling pretty good and really, really relieved. The cold sweats are a lot though. I feel like a sledgehammer went through my skull, if I'm being totally honest. And my eyes hurt like hell. But I'm so relieved. We're hiding in the dark because my eyes are really super sensitive. At like this afternoon, I came home with 2 pairs of sunglasses layered one on top of the other, and then hid myself under a blanket. I looked straight into his eyes, and I haven't been able to do that in years. And I can see my baby, and he's really sweet. And there's only one of him, which is good because he's enough trouble. But yeah, I'll show you guys my eyes tomorrow. They're too hurty to like turn on the lights and share. But I guess all things considered, we're feeling pretty good around here.
We're feeling great.
If you notice, I'm kind of like turning my head to the camera and turning my head to David. I also don't know if you can see, I keep crying. Some of it is emotion, some of it is just like liquid rolling out of my eyes. Like some of it is that I'm crying, but either way, I think water is just pouring out of him currently. There are like stitches on the sides of my eyes. Sorry if you get queasy in this, you should probably like fast forward some. There are stitches and sutures on the sides of my eyes, so it doesn't really hurt at all if I'm looking straight, but when I turn to the side, which I'm not going to do, it like tugs and then I can feel them prickle. The doctor said that'll probably only be for a day or so because the sutures will soften up in my eye. I guess they're straining. Whatever. I'm trying really hard not to think about the logistics of what is actually going on in my eyeball because I would like to be not queasy enough to eat some supper. If you have contacts and you drank too much and you fell asleep with your contacts in and then you woke up the next morning and your eyes were all like stucky shut and itchy, that's what they feel like. But they feel like that the way not just where the contacts were like 180 degrees around like all of the spots. But it's like that kind of like stuckness. frankly, it's totally bearable. I can see straight. We just saw my doctor. He seems perfectly pleased with it. Said he'd see me in 2 weeks to clear me for contacts. Checked my vision front and everything that I'm feeling, like the dizziness and the nausea, he said is totally normal. I think I embarrassed him a little bit when I cried and begged him a lot, but
She does that.
I don't really give a frankly. Yeah. So David's gonna take this nugget to school, and I'm gonna go home and take a painkiller and go to sleep all day.
That's our cue.
Bye, guys.
See ya.
I don't know how many days post-surgery I am.
You are 1, 2, 3 on Sunday.
I can see real good. I feel pretty rough though. It feels like yesterday and today were worse than the first day. Because it's almost like the novelty of seeing has worn off, but the headaches and eye aches haven't. Headache is kind of a lie. It's like my eye socket aches. And I feel like an idiot complaining about it because at least I can see, but it really sucks. And like, this is the first time I've worn just my glasses. Today I've been like Stevie Wondering it around with sunglasses indoors because I'm super light sensitive, which is supposed to get better. Everything will get better. It's just kind of like I kind of am in a holding pattern until I start to heal, I think, and I'm frustrated with it. Yeah. Like, my eyes are sore. I'm dizzy, and nauseous. It's gonna keep happening for a little bit. I guess as my brain learns to focus. How do I explain that? I'm seasick or kind of drunk, like I'm a little bit wobbly and I bump into things, and I shouldn't be because I can see where they are for the first time, but my doctor says it'll only be like a week or two, but my brain just has to learn, which I guess is like a major switch in the wiring.
I'm not a doctor, but I would imagine.
Yeah, so I don't know, I guess I can show you guys my eyes. They look pretty grimy. But look, I'm looking straight at you. That's kind of cool.
Would you like to tell them the thing that you've told me like 8 times in the last couple days? Did you know that my feet are so far away?
Oh, yeah. My feet look like they're so far away. Like, I feel like I'm really tall, and I'm not. I'm only 5'5". But, whoo! They're 5 whole feet away, I guess. I don't even know. I just never... I could never see them before. They were blurry, so I guess in focus. Also...
Dude, wow. Our feet look really small.
All the
Have our
time.
feet always look this small? I mean, we do have small feet, Jigs.
Yo, Miko.
Boop. That is my nerdiest thing. I go boop and boop and boop and point out all the things that are the exact details that I can see that I couldn't see before. So David has 2 toddlers at some points in his afternoon. Seeing is really fun.
She's doing better.
I am. We are 10 days post-op. And it was rough.
Pretty soft.
2 to 5 were, I'm pretending those didn't happen. By day 6, I was able to go outside in sunglasses and a hat, and my light sensitivity wasn't too bad. And day 7, I was outside in glasses and somewhat resuming my normal life. I looked like I had severe jaundice and had done injectable drugs into my eyeballs on day 3 and 4. So, and frankly, I could have stayed that way for a solid month because being able to see you guys is the trippiest, coolest. Sometimes I feel like I'm in a little bit of a fever dream, but it is like the lights just turned on. Or what was it when you went from having really crappy TVs to the kinds where you could see all the details on TV?
High definition.
That's my life. So embarrassing, actually. Do I even want to say?
Yes. Yes, you do. Because if you don't, I'm going to.
You're so fun.
Okay, first of all, she called me and I thought something was wrong. She was like, David! And I'm like, what's going on? You're driving, and this is the first time you've driven since your surgery. And she said, do you know that like you can like see the trees in the background?
Frankly, you guys, I never realized before this week that eyeballs are able to see the same things that cameras can see. Like, that has never... I was last week years old when I figured that out. I feel like I have just been walking around the world, looking at the world through cotton candy or something. Like, I had no idea. Yeah, it's crazy. I'm not sure we knew before my pre-op appointments and all the severe testing how bad my amblyopia was, or
What amblyopia was?
mostly I knew it was another eye thing that I might have, full stop. That was one of the things that we checked at my last appointment, and we'll check at my appointment this week, but is apparently corrected by the surgery, which is amazing. Like, so freaking cool. I think the nausea and the dizziness kind of went first. By like day 4 and 5, the nausea was starting to lift. I was still a little dizzy and still bumping into things. It also, like I'd like waddle around, I'd look all over drunk.
Tipsy.
Tipsy. Like half a glass of champagne too much.
Day drunk.
Brunch drunk.
There it is.
With strabismus, one of the things that they can do to help correct it, other than surgery, is like more baby step, is that they can put prisms into eyeglasses. These are my old glasses, which have the same prescription but no prism. And can you
these have the prism?
Yes, these have the prism. These do not. Can you show them the difference in the thickness because of what they had to build into them? They're half the size, y'all.
Yeah. These are like granny glasses with their thickness. Okay, so
And
these
they're
have
also-
the prism.
It can be said that what David sees through my glasses, because his vision is close to standard perfect, is what I see without my glasses. So obviously, glasses exist to correct that so I can see more clearly, but the difference in the way...
Are you saying that you're gonna throw things at me while I'm wearing your glasses to make things fair?
And we're going to do using those ones because I never need them again. I don't care if I hit you in the face. That's really
Dun 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 dun. Oh wow! Oh, that world comes at you fast. I'm glad you're having fun with it. Oh wow, that's scary.
Bring those up.
Wait, where's my mark? Alright. Let's do this.
Now I'm just trying to take advantage of him. All right, so yeah, his eyes are still better than mine. That's not the point.
Wait, no, I'm not done yet.
Oh, no.
I also have a valid thing to say. My strabismus is so severe that it was beyond the realm of what prism could correct because my nose would get in the way. Like, so it was something that we tested and they were like, this is as good as we can. So instead of double vision being like this, it would be like this in the attempts to pull it through. So, yeah.
What she's saying is
Life-changing.
Yeah.
That's
Glasses helped a little bit. Surgery fixed them all.
crazy. If I was doing this again, and I would advise this strongly, don't only get new glasses, get a cheap pair of prescription sunglasses, get a Zenny pair, whatever, for $30, $20, and have those, because that was really useful for the switch. I wished I had done that. I only had an old pair that was not very cute, but I wore them.
Anyway, you've seen them.
You've seen them multiple times.
As they start to dissolve, they untie before they just like dissolve into nothing.
It was one of those things, I was like, there's something itching my eye. I wonder if I knocked a stitch loose. I was like, that's not gonna happen. And I was like, oh, there's a stitch in that eye goop. And there was.
We tried these on and you
We didn't try those on here. What are these?
the wings. And the stick.
Oh! Is that what 3D stuff is supposed to look like?
I guess that's a positive. Where do you see it?
He's, I think.
Oh yeah, that's good. How about row 8 is one animal. Oh, that's great. Do you see the 8 children there?
Yes, sir.
Do you see 1 or 2?
I only see one of them. I love you too. Dr. Dietz is checking Mama's eyes right now to make sure she can see a cute face.
Right now they're really straight.
Mm-hmm. They feel really straight. And it's like
Good.
trippy. Like, it's really trippy, honestly, to look at myself and see straight eyes.
Yeah.
And yeah, I also don't think I realized like how many things I couldn't see and how many like adjustments I was making for not being able to see super well.
Right.
And I just didn't realize it until
Can you keep both eyes open now?
I can see through both my eyes. What a
You're
world.
grabbing the right child?
He belongs to me.
Yeah.
He can see me.
You don't have twins?
Just one of them. Thank
Hope
God.
that-
He's
hope
loud
that-
enough for both.
Hope the news didn't take you up there. See the L right there. Perfect. Great. All right.
Hi. Look at that. I have contacts in, and I only see on camera. It's really cool. Today's the first day I put contacts in, which in itself is kind of trippy. It feels more comfortable than I expected it to, which is nice. I'm 2.5 weeks post surgery at this point.
About.
Also started to panic. David came in to kiss me a few nights ago and like up super close when something.
She doesn't realize that everyone's visions crosses when people get really close. She was like, wait, but I see 2 of you. I'm like, that, yes. We've spent a lot of time, Ravayna, like coming to me in panic and me being like, that is totally normal. Those are how eyes function.
Like it was fake. It feels like it's a dream and I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna be cross-eyed again because like, yes, it hurt and yes, it was uncomfortable, but on the grand scale, I think I had built it up to be so much more awful than it was going to be that
That's what she does in life.
shut up, you're not supposed to tell them all my business. They gotta wait for the next video to see that. It almost shocks me a little bit every time in the mirror. I'm so used to seeing that deep cross. And honestly, I'm so used to not even looking in the mirror to not see it that when I do, it's a little bit like, the best thing you can do is make sure that you really trust your doctor, and I'm really lucky that I had a doctor that was so patient. But if you don't trust your doctor, get a different one. That
was one of the worst things the first night.
the first night I put the ointment in.
Especially because it was a surprise. It was like, oh, this is fine.
And it didn't hit right away. It's almost like the ointment took like 10 or 15 seconds to move around to my eye and then get the incision. So I was like, oh, okay. Crying on David's lap, really staring at the camera probably now that I know where it is. I feel like I'm awkwardly
Oh,
staring
are you
at the
awkwardly
camera.
staring at the camera?
Yeah.
Is she awkwardly staring at the camera?
My best advice is this is scary, but be brave, because on the other side, it's really beautiful. And yeah. Everyone is really talking a lot about how they work at home with their kid. Spoiler alert.
Rudy, what's up with your arm?
Thank you, Sesame Street, for
And
allowing us to get some work done.
And
Thank you,
flowers.
Skip Hop. Thank you, Camellia Bush.
Now, what do we do once he can climb out of that himself? What do we do, Asher Dasher?